In the headlines, Senate demands immediate dredging of River Niger, Benue. Kwara Assembly calls for provision of relief material for survivors of boat accidents in the state. Rivers governor set up panel to probe post-election violence. And on the foreign scene, Tunisia president wins second term with landslide. In business news, Central Bank of Nigeria reassures Nigerians on bank stability. In entertainment news, Nigerian students set new world record for longest catwalk. And from the exciting world of sport, 9 players arrived Super Eagles camp for AFCON 2025 qualifiers. Good evening and many thanks for joining us for news across the world on Diamond 88.7 FM Ilorin. I am Omonike Babatunde. You can listen to us via our website at www.diamondfm.net or watch us live on Facebook at Diamond 887 FM. You can also download our app on Play Store, Diamond 887 FM. We'll bring you details of the news after this break. Don't go away, please.
We've all heard about home fires taking lives and destroying all that a family owns. These tragedies are reminders for us to double-check for fire safety. Make sure your home has properly installed and working smoke alarms. Practice a fire escape plan. Never leave cooking food unattended for long. Teach children never to hide but leave if there's a fire. Switch off all electrical appliances when not in use. In cases of fire, remember, the most important thing to do is to protect lives first.
This message is reaching you from Diamond 88.7 FM Ilorin.
You're welcome back from that short break, and now the news in detail. The Minister of Federal Capital Territory, Omonike, says 2 of the 3 bus and taxi terminals under construction by FCT administration will be ready in January. Wike stated this today when he inspected the ongoing project in Abuja, said that when completed, no bus or taxi would be allowed to operate on FCT Road. The minister expressed satisfaction with the spate of work inaugurated in July, barely 3 months ago. He said that the contractor was given 15 months to deliver the 3 terminals at Mabushi, Eagle Square, and Kubo in the FCT. He, however, said that the contractor promised to deliver the Mabushi and Kubo terminals in January, which would be 9 months earlier than the scheduled timeline. The Senate has asked President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to direct the immediate dredging of River Niger and Benue as part of preventive method against flooding and facilitate its inclusion into the 2025 budget. The upper legislative chamber adopted the resolution following a motion moved by Senator Amos Yohana on the urgent need for intervention in the humanitarian crisis caused by flooding in Adamawa North Senatorial District. In his lead debate today, Senator Yohana noted that there was a massive flooding that caused catastrophic destruction in the 5 local government areas of Adamawa North Senatorial District. The lawmakers further resolved to direct the National Emergency Management Agency to, as a matter of urgency, prioritize the affected communities and provide relief materials to the victims. Now in the state of Harmony, Kwara State House of Assembly has called on both the state and National Emergency Management Agency to provide relief materials to the victims of boat accident in Kayama local government area of the state. The call was equal to a matter of general public importance moved by Honorable Hamed Saidu Baba, representing Gwanebe, Adena Bani and Gweria constituency over a boat accident that claimed the lives of many people in Gwajibo area of Kayama local government area of Kwara State. While speaking on the matter, Honorable Baba thanked Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak for his prompt response to the tragic incident, even as it called on the National Inland Waterways Authority to live up to its responsibility in regulating water transportation to prevent reoccurrence of such incident. Other lawmakers in their contribution commiserate with the people of Gwajibo community in Kayama local government over the incident. They called on the Kwara State Emergency Management Agency to liaise with National Emergency Agency in providing relief materials to the survivors of the accident. Researchers in the food value chain and agricultural experts were today encouraged to stop at nothing in effort aimed at winning grants for their research project. Joseph Ameribe was at the event and he filed this report.
Researchers have been reminded that persistence, mentorship, collaboration and proactiveness are keys to sourcing and winning grants for research projects. The reminder was given today at a program facilitated by the Academic Staff Union of Research Institutions, ASURI, the Ilorin branch over National Center for Agricultural Mechanization, NCAM. The guest speaker and executive director, Nigeria's Stored Product Research Institute, NISPRI, Professor Lateef Oladimeji, ably represented by Assistant Director Research, NISPRI, Dr. Mrs. Grace Otitodun, harped on the secret and global best approaches to assess grants from governmental, non-governmental, corporate bodies and international donor agencies for research projects.
Grant sourcing requires transparency, dedication, and you put in all your best in it. As I said earlier, and I'm still saying it, you can get it, but you just need to pay attention to details. Do what the funding body requires of you. Look for funding bodies that are interested in what you do, then put in your application, and then make sure you have research team that are of the same mind as yourself. With God on your side, you surely get it.
The chairman Asuri NCAM branch Ilorin, Comrade Opadotun Okpeyemi, said the program was designed to make union members think on other sure ways to secure funds outside government for research work, assuring to set up teams to implement lessons learned from the program.
Now, funding my research, I don't need to rely only on government funding as a government worker. I can as well go out there, get a good research team, and the research will be funded. Yes. As the lecture was going on, I was talking to somebody beside me that there is high time we form our research teams. Okay. We just look at things of we identify national problems in agriculture and food security. And that is what we're going to do now. Once after this program, we break our team of researchers into groups, interest groups. We identify areas of post-harvest, that's food security, which are post-harvest losses and the likes. And we come up with this and start looking for funds.
Amongst others present at the event is the Executive Director, NCAM, Engineer Dr. A.R. Kamal, who was represented by the Director General Services, NCAM, Dr. Mrs. Oluwakemi Oyeniyi.
It's a timely event, is a timely topic that people were looking for. And thank God for our resource person. She really did justice to it. And we are all, we learn from it. Thank you.
Some past and present ESCOs and members of ASURI and agricultural researchers from the Glass House over NCAM, Ilorin, Kwara State, Nigeria, Joseph Emeribe, for Diamond FM News.
Thank you so much, Joseph Emeribe. And now to Rivers. Rivers State Governor Sir Siminalayi Fubara set up a 7-man judiciary panel of inquiry to investigate the arson and killings of some local government areas of the state. This was disclosed in a statement issued in Port Harcourt today by the Secretary to the State Government, Dr. Tammy Danagogo. The statement listed Honorable Justice Haihar Mina Kirias as chairman of the committee, with Barrister Felicia Nwoke, Professor Blessing Didier, Sir Samuel Egbe, and Venerable Alex Osifo as members, while Mrs. Inyigi Brown and Barrister Uzo Ikenga will serve as secretary and counsel to the panel, respectively. It could be recalled that several local government secretariats in the state were attacked yesterday and some persons killed as the newly elected local government officials attempted to access their offices. The National Orientation Agency NOA has launched a sensitization campaign on the national anthem and national value charter. The Director General of the agency, Isalani Onilu, who spoke through the Director of Health and Social, Dr. Olufemi Agbola, disclosed that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu engaged the agency to address fundamentals affecting Nigerians and promote nationalism and unity. The Kwara State Director of NOA, Olusegun Adeyemi, stated the campaign is aimed at reinvigorating the spirit of unity, patriotism, and national pride across the corners of Nigeria. He added that the national anthem is a symbol of how Nigeria shall be great again in the course of national building, while National Value Charter enshrines the fundamental principles that should guide our conduct as citizens, like integrity, patriotism, selflessness, and sense of duty to the nation. After highlighting the strategies that involve different stakeholders, Adeyemi called on every Nigerians to reflect on the significance of national anthem and national values charter as pillars upon which the future of our country rests. The news across the world is reaching you from Diamond 88.7 FM Ilori. We'll go on a break now, and when we return, we'll bring you foreign and sport news. Don't go away, please.
Follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Diamond 87 FM. Diamond FM, shining supreme.
You're welcome back from that short break. You're still listening to news across the world reaching you from Diamond 88.7 FM in Lorry. Now we move on to the foreign stories. Tunisia Electoral Commissioner said the President Kais Saied has won a second term with more than 90% of the vote. Only 2 candidates out of more than a dozen other hopefuls were allowed to stand against President Saied in Sunday's ballot, where only 29% of more than 9 million registered voters took part. Saied's closest challenger, businessman Ayachi Zamel, won 7% of the vote despite being sentenced to 12 years in prison for falsifying documents just 5 days before the poll. There was no campaign rallies or public debate, and nearly all the campaign posters in the street were backing the president. 5 political parties had urged people to boycott the election in the belief that they would not be free or fair. Still on the foreign scene, the United States of Florida is preparing for a second ferocious storm in as many weeks as Category 4 Hurricane Milton is due to make landfall tomorrow. Winds of up to 250 km per hour have been recorded off the coast of Mexico as it hustles toward Florida. The National Hurricane Center has declared Milton as an extremely powerful storm, which poses as extremely serious threat to Florida. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis told people to take heed of warnings and evacuate areas in the storm path. Florida's emergencies chief warned storm surges from the hurricane are said to be not survivable. The fresh warning came less than 2 weeks after Hurricane Helene arrived in the Gulf Coast as a Category 4 storm. It went on to kill at least 225 people across Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, Tennessee, Virginia, and worst hit state, North Carolina. That ends our foreign news, and up next is our business news.
Diamond FM Business News.
In a business update today, the Central Bank of Nigeria has emphasized its commitment to the stability of the country's financial system. This is according to a press release by CBN's Acting Director of Corporate Communications, Mrs. Akama Sidiali. The statement noted that the bank's continuous stress testing of financial institutions is aimed at maintaining the resilience of Nigeria's banking sector. According to the CBN, these stress tests are an integral part of a strategy to safeguard the financial system and protect depositors' funds. The test helped the Apex Bank detect and address emerging risk before they impact the stability of the sector.